Add me to stream. Put it back to full screen. We'll keep an eye. And looks like we're good to go, folks. Let's check out some football games. So we have Rochester at Erie. Rochester comes into this game 4-3. Erie came in 2-3, and Erie has the early lead 7-0 and possession of the ball at their own 1-yard line. So dangerous position here. He's going to throw short. Result of receiver and incomplete. Bad roll on that dice to Bill Brooks. Let's take a look and see what the early score was in this game. A 33-yard pass from Randall Cunningham to Jesse Hester as the only score so far at the 10:48 mark. Let's take a look at possession here. And that was the opening possession for Erie. This now is their second possession starting at the 1. And only 26 yards of offense for Rochester and a couple of punts. So they're struggling offensively, but they've got the defense or the Erie team pinned deep. But a first down pass, and Erie's out to the 12-yard line. So a little breathing room here for those who may not be familiar with me. I am head coach of the Midwest Vipers. My name is Tim Irvin. I have a 40 years experience playing Strato, but this is my first ever non-stock league experience. I've never drafted in a league, so this is new to me. First down run on that play, Steve A. Smith. We're 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. I'm going to familiarize myself with these teams as we go. Defense calls run successfully on that one. Nice call by Rochester, and it sets up a second down and 11. Rochester is one of the 4 or 5 teams in this league that also participate in the USFFL, which is a league that I'm a commissioner in. Dennis Crowley is also in that league. Dennis Young is in that league. Joe is in that league. Joe Golden. I'm going to miss someone I know. There's at least one more that I'm not thinking about right now. Here's a deep ball. And it looks like we've got an open zone, 0 men. He does hit that on the card, and he's got a long gain on receiver, and that's going to be a 52-yard pickup. Nice pass on that play again to Jesse Hester, who now is at 96 yards receiving on just 3 catches. And that gets Erie just outside of the red zone to the 22-yard line of Rochester. With 0 men, it was a result of receiver. There was only 2 completions, but Erie hits the number. So again, apologies through this game. I'm going to be familiarizing myself with these 2 teams and kind of everything as we go along. Here's a quick slant, 2 men in the zone, and that's going to be incomplete. So it went to the defensive card on 2 men in the zone. It would have been wrong on the quarterback card. So good break there for the defense. Second down and 10. Erie seems to be operating mostly out of the pro set. That's something that I'm doing as well. I think we're going to see probably quite a bit of that here in this set because there were so many fullbacks that can run in this card set that a pro set formation, of course, is one of the formations allowing multiple options there. Here's a successful double team by Rochester. Short pass to Bill Brooks, and he's got it. Completes it on double teamed on the quarterback's card. Randall Cunningham converts, and it's first and goal now at the 9-yard line. Cunningham 5 of 7 for a $122 already. And he's got Erie poised to potentially take a 2-score lead here, first and goal at the 9. Still out of the pro set. Linebackers are all going to come up to the line. Inside the 10, it's going to be a short pass. Receiver is the result. That's a touchdown. Completion on the play. The tight end, Ethan Horton, gets it. Extra point by Matt Barr is good. And here in the first quarter, Erie at home has opened up a 2-touchdown lead, 14-0 on Rochester. And I've got Rochester taking over at their 32 without ever seeing a kick return listed here. So I'm not sure sometimes how we glitch as a viewer and not see that. But the return I missed has Rochester out to their 32-yard line. We got somebody joining us here. It's Brian. Hey, Brian, welcome. And let's go ahead and pull the game back up now. 2nd down and 7 after that 3-yard out pass to Hobie Brenner. And right back to him on the flat, and another 5 yards to Hobie Brenner, and that sets up a 3rd down and 2. Elway, I know, a little bit better, might surprise you, but a little bit better of a flat quarterback than a long quarterback in this set. Just like Erie, Rochester operating out of the pro set formation here. And on 3rd and 2, they're running it up the middle. Mike Rozier, a nice pickup of 8 yards on his card. And that's a 1st down out near midfield to the 48 for Rochester. Plenty of time left, but a 2-score lead for Erie. Another run right up the middle. Mike Rozier gets just 3 on this carry, and that sets up a 2nd and 7, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter here in Erie. A good first quarter for the home team. They're up 14-0. Right back to the pro set for Rochester. And sticking with the run. Right up the middle. Looks like the center successfully makes the block there and picks up a 4-yard gain. That sets up 3rd down and 3. Pretty good run blocking for the Rochester squad with 3 5s and a 6 among the 5 starting linemen. Staying the pro set here on 3rd down and 3. Defense calls run, and it's going to Ironhead Hayward. One linebacker in the zone. We've got a fumble on the play, and still not sure. It flashed fast. Let's see who recovers. And that's going to be picked up by the offense, and after the 1st down is converted. So Craig Hayward gets 6 yards on the play, coughs it up, but the offense recovers that fumble, move the chains. And Rochester now inside the 40 at the 39-yard line of Erie. Here's a run up the middle to Rozier again, and that's going to be no gain. That went to the defensive card. Left guard needed to be a 5, and left guard needed to be a 6 per the white dice and was a 5. So no gain there for Rozier, and it's 2nd down and 10. So we'll see if Rochester wants to make a play for a more manageable 3rd down or if they have something else up their sleeve here. To run up the middle, both of the wideouts are double teamed, but Rozier takes it up the middle and a nice pickup of 7. Rozier's got a really nice card. Couple of short gains there on wrong and quite a few really good gains there. I know he's a little bit fumble prone, but got a pretty good card, and he's off to a good start in this one. 9 carries for 48 yards. 5.3 per here. Big 3rd down, 3rd and 3 at the Erie 32. Pro set formation offensively, stacking up against that 3-4. Defense gets his run, and it's a deep ball. 3rd and 3, and he's going for it. Nobody in the zone, and he's got a long gain on the receiver card. That's going to go to the house. 32-yard touchdown pass for Rochester. 3rd and 3, catches the defense guessing run and goes for the gusto, converts it. And that's going to make it 14-6 because it appears, although again, I didn't see the post touchdown play, that the extra point was missed. Let's take a look here. Wow, it doesn't even tell me if that PAT failed. Oh, Tricky Stratomatic interface. 14-6 is the score I'm showing here. 11:42 to go in the second quarter. Erie with an 8-point lead and the ball at their own 19. And we're back in the standard pro set versus 3-4 formation. Off tackle to Ernest Spiner. And a nice pickup of 8 yards. As the run blocking tackle was a 4 and needed to be a 4. So second down and 2. Going to go right to Biner again off tackle. Biner, I believe, led this set in carries as far as a running back. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had the most carries as a running back. And Biner on his card, he nails the short game. Biner's got 16 yards. That's across the 40 out to the 43. And Erie's in business again up near midfield. 10:30 to go here in the second quarter. Erie has put up 201 yards of offense already in a quarter plus. 10 first downs. They're really going to work here. And Biner, another 7-yard run on that off tackle. So Rochester sitting in their pass defense. And Erie showing the patience to run the ball. They're passing here, though, into the flat. Biner's the target again, and that's incomplete. And that's going to set up a 3rd and 3 right at the midfield stripe. So a big third down opportunity in this game coming up. Right at the midfield stripe. I bet we see Erie come out in that pro set formation again, and they do. Steve Smith and Kelvin Bryant are the tailbacks. Defense guesses run, but it's a flat pass. Kelvin Bryant's got it and just gets the first down. Went to the defensive card, 666s, and it ended up being a 4-yard gain with one man there. So first down conversion. Erie at the Rochester 46 now. Got somebody else. Brian, welcome. I'm adding you on the second stream there as well. And an incomplete pass to Bill Brooks on that play. It's going to be second down and 10 at the Rochester 46-yard line. Erie has not been stopped yet. And a short pass wrong. Randall Cunningham hits one of the very few incompletions. That's a good short pass card on wrong, but he hits 7. That's the blank, and it's third down and 10. Erie's been so good offensively, they are 1 for 1 on third downs. They haven't even had a lot of them as they've moved down for 2 touchdowns on 2 possessions. But they're behind the sticks here, third and 10. 3 wide receiver formation. Kelvin Bryant, the single setback beside Cunningham, who's in the shotgun. Stanley Morgan comes in as the third wide receiver and gets the benefit of the zero coverage. Nickelback. Out of the 3-3-5, we're showing the blitz from Rochester. Back to pass. He's throwing short to the tailback and incomplete. Kelvin Bryant can't find the completion with 4 men in the zone defensive card. So that's going to be a punt situation from the 46, and it's going to be angled out of bounds, and a nice kick by the punter. Sean Landetta puts it out of bounds at the 7, and Rochester will take over there. Rochester defense makes its first stop of the game, forces the first punt by Erie, and now trailing by 8 points, 14-6. Rochester at their own 7. 7:48 to go here before halftime. As I mentioned before, a lot of pro set formation to keep a couple of running backs available is what I've seen in the summer sprint in many of my games, and I'm seeing that a lot in this one as well. Rozier, Hayward are the split backs. Elway's under center for Rochester. And from his own 7, he's back to pass. Looking to Brian Blades, and it's incomplete. Elway got an 8 on his card, and it's going to be second down and 10. So risking the sack there. Haven't had a chance. I'd like to take a look here and see about some of this blocking. Pass blocking and really the run blocking as well. Pretty damn good for Rochester. We'll take a look at the opposing blitz here as we go to pro set formation on second and 10. This time it's Gilfarenity as the halfback, but they're back to pass again. Rochester. Elway is looking to Brian Blades, but he's sacked and he fumbles it. He could be in the end zone. I'm not seeing how far that sack is yet. Let's see. It is back to the 1, and it is picked up by the offense. So back-to-back short passes, gutsy calls by Rochester. The second one results in a sack just across the goal line. It's 3rd and 16 Rochester at their own 1-yard line. And not bashful here on 3rd and 16. They're going 4 wide receivers. Craig Hayward is your fullback with Elway in the shotgun. Defense showing a nickel here. I wouldn't be surprised if this is all to set up maybe a line buck draw for Craig Hayward. I don't know that I'd want to pass it from the 1. Let's see what he does. Or maybe a little dump pass. No, he's throwing deep. The defense is guessing pass. There's a couple blitzers on the outside, and it's incomplete. That went to the defensive card, and the result went to 2 men in zone, and nothing really doing there. So punting from the 1 now. And that's going to be grabbed at the 44 and a 7-yard return. And Erie, with 6:18 to go, takes over already at the Rochester 38-yard line. So great field position after they hold Rochester deep in their own zone, punting from the 1. Rochester in need of a defensive stand here. There's a quick out pass. It's going to be a nice pickup, 9 yards to the tight end, Ethan Horton. Caught Rochester guessing run defensively and picked up a fast 9 to set up second down and 1. Biner and Smith are the split tailbacks here. And on second and 1, they're going to show blitz defensively. And it's off tackle. And that's a nice 9-yard pickup to Steve Smith on his card. There were 2 linebackers in the zone, so nicely done Rochester defensively on stacking the right off tackle zone, but he didn't get the white die like he wanted it. And that's a 9-yard gain. First and 10 now at the 20. Another run right up the middle to Biner and a pickup of 2. Good call defensively by Rochester as a run defensive call. Holds that to just a 2-yard gain. Would have been a short gain. So good time to call run there. Second down and 8 now at the 18. That's going to free up the free safety, of course. So Gene Atkins is in play now. New formation here for Erie. 3 wide receiver set with a couple of running backs in there. Stanley Morgan enters the game as the 3rd wide receiver. The defense will stay in the 3-4 for Rochester. 4:48 to go here. Guessing run, but it's a short pass to Kelvin Bryant and incomplete. So Kelvin Bryant, the tailback, targeted twice here in the last 5 or 8 minutes and missed both times. That's going to set up 3rd down and 8 at the Rochester 18-yard line. And on this 3rd down play, Erie's coming out in a 3 wide receiver formation. Bryant will stay in as a single tailback. Rochester showing blitz out of a nickel formation. It's going to be a short pass to Bill Brooks. Receivers the result. Brooks, incomplete. Plenty of opportunities on his card, but found an empty spot. And that's going to force a 4th and 8 and a likely field goal attempt here from the 18-yard line. That hasn't been called yet. Makes me want to take a look and see if he's got a concern about his kicker. He is going to field goal formation, though. 2 through 10 and drills it. And so Erie puts on a field goal and extends their lead to 17-6. 3:18 to go before halftime. Plenty of opportunity for Rochester to try to get on the board here. We didn't get the kickoff again to see what happened there, but it's 1st and 10 Rochester from their own 39-yard line. Defense calling pass, but it's going to be an off tackle. And Mike Rozier with an 11-yard pickup. That went to an 8 on the defensive card and hit the number he was looking for. And it's 1st down Rochester all the way up to midfield at the 50. Rozier now 10 carries, 59 yards. He'll stay in the offensive formation, pro set. The defense guesses run, but it's a short pass. Tommy Kane's got it. He beats his defender for a short gain of 12 yards and gets out of bounds. And just like that, Rochester's already at the Erie 38-yard line after 2 plays. 2:24 to go before halftime. Rochester down by 11, 17-6. Elway struggling a little bit compared to Cunningham. The Rochester quarterback's 5 of 11. Here's a run up the middle to Mike Rozier, and boom, he's got his short gain. Rochester still going right down the field. 15 yards on that one. And that's going to get him down to the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. Rozier having a very good first half here. We're at the 2-minute warning. At the 23-yard line, pro set formation, Hayward and Rozier. That 0 nose tackle has to be what is enticing Coach Tangor to go up the middle. This time he's doing a little flat pass to the outside. Pick up 9 yards. He doesn't get out of bounds, but time's not so much a factor here. And in fact, Rochester lets that clock run down to 1:30. 2nd and 1 at the 14 of Erie. Rochester letting that clock run to make sure he leaves as little time as possible for his opponent. And on 2nd and 1 at the 14, the whole playbook's open here. Pro set formation. Mike Rozier goes out. Gil Fenderty comes in to join Hayward in that backfield. Showing blitz out of the 3-4 the defense. It's going to be a sneak to Elway and an easy pickup of that 1st down. 3 yards to the 11. And that's a pretty smart play. You go with the quarterback and just pick up 3 there. It's 1st and 10 at the 11. That still leaves the flat pass open. It still makes the defense think twice about putting those linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. 60 seconds left here. 1st and 10 at the 11. Pro set formation with Gil Fennerty in as well. And it appears we have, the defense takes a timeout as they accidentally called a safety blitz on 1st down. And in order to correct that, per league rules, Erie burns their first timeout. Probably not going to come into play here as far as the timeouts, but we'll see. It could. 60 seconds left. 1st and 10 Rochester at the 11. Pro set, Fennerty is in again at tailback instead of Rozier. Defense guesses run, but it's back to pass. He's looking short to the tight end, Hobie Brenner. But he's going to drop it. It's a fumble. Snap fumble. It's on the ground. Elway puts it on the ground. Let's see who's got it. And the defense comes through. And a huge snap fumble just before halftime as the Rochester offense was knocking on the doorstep. But Erie takes over, 1st and 10 at their 12 with 52 seconds left, still holding that 11-point lead. Huge fumble on that play by Elway. Critical error. Let's see how aggressive they want to be with Erie offensively. Pro set formation. Defense out of the 3-4. And it's going to be an off-tackle run. Ernest Biner. And that's going to be a 3-yard gain. as the defensive tackle was the 5 he needed to be to make that stop. Saved a 17-yard gain on that one. And we're letting the clock run down here. Just 22 seconds left here before halftime. So it doesn't appear that Erie's looking to be that aggressive. They'll stay in the pro set. And now with 22 seconds left, the defense is going to drop into that nickel and play a little careful defense here. And there's a nice 4-yard run that will likely be the last play of this first half, and it is. So your halftime score, Erie leads 17-6 on Rochester. I know they had 200 yards early in the second quarter. Erie ends up at 239. Rochester with 138. And there goes the second half kick. And Erie gets the first possession of the second half, already up by 11. They'll take over at their 19-yard line. Here's a screen pass to Biner and a pickup of 8 yards. Good call, caught the defense looking for a run, and it sets up second down and 2. And there's a long pass to Jesse Hester against a run defense. Great opportunity there, but incomplete. Found that blank spot on the receiver card, and it's third down and 2. So an opportunity to get off the field here for the Rochester defense. Short yardage situation. I know Biner's a good back in short yardage. Middle linebacker is a 0, though, so might think twice about adding that player up to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be, he's guessing run, and it is a run and no gain. Good call defensively. Tough to take those chances sometimes, but he called run defensively, got the 0 on the running back card. Steve Smith can't convert. And it's going to be, I would think, a punt situation here, and it is. 4th and 2. Erie's first possession of the second half, and they're going to punt right away. And Sean Landetta with a boomer. 58-yard punt. Back to the 15. Fair caught there by Rochester. So Landetta with a couple of great punts in this game. Perfect coffin corner punt out toward the 7. And now this punt all the way back to the 15 on a 58-yarder. 2 punts for Erie, and they're both beauties. Only 1 turnover in this game. Rochester has fumbled the ball 3 times and only lost it once, but that lost fumble was right near the Erie goal line with just seconds remaining in the half, so a really brutal fumble. Rochester from the 15, they're going to shake it up, go to 3 wide receivers. 2 running backs still. Fennerty is the deep eye back with Hayward in front of him. And it's going to be off tackle to Craig Ironhead Hayward, and just a pickup of 3 yards on that play as he ran to the side of the field with a linebacker plug in the zone. Second down and 7. "15 runs and 12 passes so far for the Rochester offense, so good balance, but struggling to make hay here in the second half, and only 141 yards of offense. Second down and 7. Here's another off tackle run. Craig Hayward, and this one's good. 9 yards and a first down. Hayward's going to do good if he can just keep it on his card. And that play converts. So 1st and 10 now. Rochester out to their 27-yard line. They'll stay in that 3 wide receiver formation. Rozier getting a blow as Gil Fennerty starts to be more regular in the offensive formation. And he's a pitch out here to Gil Fennerty. And just a 1-yard pickup as Fennerty hits the 5 on his card. Everybody's favorite fumble result going nowhere. Second down and 9. Erie trying to even their record at 3-3 here. On 2nd and 9, it's a screen to that tailback, and Gilfinity picks up 6. A nice gain. Sets up a more manageable 3rd down and 3. So a big 3rd down coming up here for Rochester. Rochester actually doing better on 3rd downs. They're 4 of 7 on 3rd downs. Erie just 1 of 4. On 3rd and 3, Finnerty stays in his tailback. Hayward is your fullback. Pro set formation. Defense will operate out of the 3-4. It's got to be tempting to run up the middle with that nose tackle 0. But we'll probably see Dino Hackett hit the line to help block that. It's a quick out pass to the tight end, and Tice has it 9 yards. Nice pass from John Elway to Mike Tice. 9 yards and a 1st down. Rochester out to their 43-yard line. So Rochester continues to look good on 3rd down, move the chains. And they're still working on their opening possession of the 2nd half. Here's a pitch out to Finnerty, and that's a -3. Finnerty again hits the 5 on his card, and this time with the defense guessing run, it's going to be a 3-yard loss. And it's 2nd down and 13. Rochester from their 40. Chiefs linebackers are what's here for Erie, and that means they've got Derek Thomas as the right outside linebacker. So got to be careful operating against him offensively. Here's a little button hook, and it looks like just a pickup of 2 yards for Gil Finnerty. So 3 consecutive plays to Finnerty, but they're not doing much, and it's 3rd down and 11 now. 8:24 to go here in the 3rd quarter. John Elway just 84 yards passing so far in this game. His counterpart, Randall Cunningham of Erie, had 152 yards passing. 3 wide receiver formation, 2 running backs. Hayward in front of Finnerty in the backfield. Erie going to show the nickel here. And it's a short pass to Brian Blades. He is double teamed, and a result of receiver on the defensive card, nothing doing. Automatic incompletion. Good call there by the Erie defense, and at a good moment as it forces a punt from Rochester from their own 42, and not a good one. Greg Montgomery with just a 35-yard punt. Clarence Verdant of Erie, a 7-yard return, so just a net of 28. And they miss an opportunity to pin him deep. Erie takes over at their own 30, still with that 11-point lead. Defense guessing run, but it's a short pass. Ethan Horton incomplete. Plenty of opportunities there with 3 men on that defensive card, but it was defender incomplete or 12. And the defender only needed to be a 4. Strong safety Joey Browner's a 6 for Rochester, so an easy breakup sets up 2nd and 10. Here's an end run to Randall Cunningham and a nice call. Defense calls run. It's a 4-yard loss. And that, my friends, would have been an 18-yard run for Randall Cunningham. You're always looking for the right place to sneak those in if you're going to draft Cunningham as your quarterback. But Erie coach picked the wrong time to send RC around the end because Rochester was ready for it. So 3rd down and 14 now. Erie at their own 26. They're going to have 3 wide receivers split out. Stanley Morgan comes in. Kelvin Bryant again, the tailback. Rochester's going to show blitz out of the 3-3-5. Needs 14 yards. Seems like Stanley Morgan and Jesse Hester have the highest yards per catch. And they're going to go deep. And incomplete. Randall Cunningham on his card. A lot of must-run opportunities. He missed them all. And it's 4th down and 14. And I think it looked to me like there was nobody in the zone. Yes, indeed. Nobody in the zone. So, pretty good opportunity there offensively that was missed. Rochester escapes, and they're going to get off the field. 4th and 14. Erie's going to punt. Sean Landetta coming in again. And this time the Erie punter does not hit it. Just a 34-yard punt. Fair caught there by Vince Buck. But Rochester takes over on their 40. First down and 10, 6:18 to go here in the third. Staying in that 3 wide receiver formation with 2 running backs. Off tackle, Craig Hayward, right at a linebacker, and just a 3-yard gain. So, second time on the consecutive drives that Craig Hayward has run, unfortunately, at the side of the line of scrimmage where a linebacker was plugging it up. This time it cost him. It would have been an 11-yard gain. He settles for just 3, and it's 2nd and 7. Defense looking pass, and it's a deep ball, and that's going to be intercepted on the defensive card. Bad roll for Rochester. Intercepted back at the 27-yard line by Erie. And they're going to return that interception. Having trouble finding the exact yardage on that return, but it is returned across midfield to the 48 of Rochester. And so, second turnover of the game. This time, in first interception of the game, Elway puts it up for grabs. And Bubba McDowell grabs it for Erie. They take over just over midfield at the Rochester 48-yard line. Off tackle of Stephen Smith, and nothing doing there as Rochester again saves a big gain by calling run. 2nd down and 10. Rochester again needing to get a defensive stop. They still trail by 11. Pro set formation. And here's an off tackle again to Stephen Smith. And that's going to be a pickup of just 2 yards. Ran to the left in the blocking end. Offensively, not going to make that block. So 3rd down and 8 at the Rochester 46. I wonder how much yards he'd have to get to go for it on 4th down. 3 wide receiver formation. Kelvin Bryant's the tailback. Blitzing out of the nickel is the Rochester defense. That's going to be a short pass to the tailback, but he has dropped the sack on the play. Michael Dean Perry coming up out of the tackle position and sacking Randall Cunningham. And 4th and 17, Erie is back to punt again. Michael Dean Perry with his 7th sack on the season. And Landeno with a 44-yard punt back to the 11 and an equal 11-yard return. Gets it out to the 22, and that's where Rochester's going to take over now. 3:36 to go here in the third quarter. Rochester still trails by 11, 17-6. No points here in the second half. We still have the same score as our halftime margin. 3 wide receiver formation with 2 tailbacks. There's a square out pass to Brian Blades, and that's going to be just a 1-yard pickup. That was actually the 3 on the defensive card, an interception split on 2 through 4, and rolled a 5. So Elway almost made a consecutive interception. Survives it, just gets the 1 yard, and it's 2nd and 9. Here's an off tackle into a pass defense, Craig Hayward, and he's going to get 9 yards and a first down on that one as a 6 on the white dice beats that 0 nose tackle in spades. So he gets the 9 he needs, moves the chains. 1st and 10, Rochester now at their own 32-yard line. It's been a while since we've seen Rozier. Coach Tangora is preferring Gil Finnerty. Here's a deep ball to Tommy Kane and incomplete. John Elway hits 7 on his card and nothing doing, so second down and 10. Getting close to the fourth quarter, and Elway's still just 85 yards passing. He's going long again. And on his card, it's a must run and just 4 yards as Elway rolls the 8 on his must run result. To get that first down, he needed a 5 or better. And it's going to be third down and 6 here. And on third and 6, he's going to split out 4 wide receivers. Craig Hayward's going to be the single tailback. He's got that 7 pass block rating that is going to be a little bit of a deterrent to Derek Thomas, who's a 12-star 12. And on third and 6, I wouldn't say it's impossible to think Craig Hayward might slip in a draw here. Seattle receivers are all spread out here. Elway's in the shotgun. Erie defense sitting in the nickel. Big third down play, third and 6. Seems to be some discussion about where those receivers are lined up. It's a sideline pass on third and 6 to Paul Scansey. Interesting story about Paul Scansey. Here's the play and just 3 yards. So fourth down and 3, Rochester at their own 39. Almost done with the third quarter. I think you got to punt it here. Fourth and 3, Rochester at their own 39. He's debating about it. The story about Paul Scansey is I live in Wichita, Kansas, grew up in Topeka, which is just an hour from Kansas City, huge Chiefs fan. And I was actually in Arrowhead Stadium the day that Derek Thomas set the NFL record with 6 sacks or 7 sacks in a game, whatever the NFL record is. But Paul Scansey is the story because in that game that he set the record on the final play of the game with zeros on the clock, Dave Krieg for Seattle drops back to pass. Derek Thomas gets both hands on him. You think he's going to sack him for another time to extend his record in that game. But Dave Krieg shakes him off and unloads this like 28-yard touchdown pass to the back of the end zone to this tiny little receiver called Paul Scansey. So I just have never forgot that name. And Scansey just made a 3-yard reception to set up fourth and 3, and Rochester's going to go for it at their own 39. He does not want to punt it back. It's obviously a gutsy call. Let's see what we got here. Fourth and 3 at his own 39. He's going to go pro set. Hayward is your fullback. Gil Finnerty is who's favored here as the tailback instead of Rozier. Blades and Kane are split out wide. Fourth and 3. Defensive Erie is going to operate out of the 3-4. Huge call here as Rochester goes for it inside their own 40. Fourth and 3. Defense gets his run. Short pass to Brian Blades. It goes to the defensive card and incomplete. It went to the defensive card, and the result was defender or short gain. And the corner, Richard Johnson, was the 5 he needed to be to break up that pass to Brian Blades. And they fail to convert on fourth down. Erie takes over at the Rochester 39. Erie coach suggesting perhaps there might have been a little pushing there by his cornerback. I'm sure he'll take it anyway. Up by 11. Erie looking to extend their lead now. Already inside the Rochester 40 with 36 seconds left here in the third quarter. That's going to be a pass to Jesse Hester. It's incomplete. 4 men in the zone defensively. And the cornerback breaks it up there. Reggie Rutland. That's the Minnesota secondary. Very strong here for Rochester. 2nd down and 10. Defense gets his run, but it's another short pass to Hester. Result is receiver, and he's got this one 19 yards down to the 20-yard line. And that's going to bring a close to the third quarter. At the end of 3, we had no scoring in the third quarter. We head to the fourth. It is still 17-6, Erie on top. 1st and 10 at the 20 now. Jesse Hester goes over 100 yards receiving, 4 catches, $115, and that touchdown. You know Rochester's trying to, down by 11, they're trying to hold them to a field goal here. Inside run up the middle, Ernest Spiner, and he's got a good result. Down to the 3, a 17-yard gain. He had a pickup of 7 on the defensive card. A couple of boxes beside it adds 10 more, and it is 1st and goal. Erie at the 3-yard line. Goal line situation here, pro set formation. They're keying Biner, but it's a sneak to Cunningham, and that's going to be a 2-yard gain down to the 1. So 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. And we'll probably see the full house here by Erie. We sure do. Enter Gerald Riggs into the backfield to join Biner and Steve Smith. 4-3 blitz formation shown here by Rochester. Desperately needing a stop. The Rochester defense run at the middle. Ernest Biner, and touchdown. Ernest Biner. The center plows ahead for him, and he's got the touchdown in this one. Extra point by Matt Barrs, good, and Erie extends to a 19-point lead now. 24 to, actually, I'm sorry, that's an 18-point lead. Basic mathematics, and 24-6, Erie on top. 12:54 to go in this one. And Rochester's going to have to get a little more aggressive than they're going to want to get here. Let's see how aggressive he plays it. He does come out from his 25 in a pro set formation. Off tackle draw here to Hayward, and beating that nose tackle for another 9 on the defensive card. 2nd down and 1. Rochester now actually leading Erie in rush yards, 118 to 113. 2nd and 1. It's a deep ball to Brian Blades and incomplete. 10 on the quarterback card, just misses a 28-yard gain. And it sets up a 3rd down and 1. Probably a good call there for Rochester. If you're down by 18 and it's 2nd and 1, why not sneak it in, see if maybe you might get one through. 3rd and 1. And it's a short pass to Brian Blades, but a sack comes through. A sack on the play by Lee Williams. 9-yard loss, and it's 4th down and 10. Pretty aggressive offensively here. They're going to have to punt. And Greg Montgomery boots a 47-yarder down to the 28, taken there by the Erie returner, Clarence Verdun, 7 yards. And they'll take over Erie at their own 23. Might be a healthy dose of Ernest Biner to run some clock here with an 18-point lead. We'll see. Off tackle to Ernest Biner indeed. They guessed run and a 1-yard loss. So 2nd down and 11. Erie from their 22. Defense guesses run, but it's a short pass. Bill Brooks has it. 13 yards and a 1st down. Cunningham moves the chains, and Erie's out to the 35-yard line. That's going to be a long pass, I'm sorry, to Bill Brooks on that play, and incomplete on the receiver. So second down and 10 now. It's an off tackle run to Biner and good call on the defense. Holds him to a 4-yard gain. Would have been 6, but he called the run. So Rochester's making some good calls so far. That sets them up for a 3rd and 6. An opportunity to stop Erie here, trailing by 18 with just over 9 minutes left. 3 wide receiver formation for Erie. Showing blitz out of the nickel is Rochester. 3rd and 6. I might be looking at that 0 linebacker for a look in. Perhaps to Kelvin Bryant, who's the single setback here. But instead, it's a short pass to Bill Brooks again. Possible interception, but incomplete. Boy, Rochester missed an opportunity to grab their first turnover. That's going to force a punt. And that's going to be fielded at the 15 and a nice 11-yard return out to the 26. So Rochester has the ball back at the 8:42 mark of the 4th quarter, but they're down by 18, running out of time. Their defense improved here in the second half, but Rochester's still having trouble getting the offense to go. They're at their 26th. They'll start in the pro set formation. And they're looking deep, but here comes the blitz again. Bert Grossman breaks through for a huge 13-yard sack. And that is 2nd and 23. Rochester back to their 13-yard line. 4 sacks now in the game for Erie. Just 1 sack for the Rochester defense. They'll stay in the pro set here on 2nd and 23, and it's going to be a draw and just a 5-yard gain. So that sets up 3rd down and 18. Deck is just stacked against Rochester here, unfortunately. They're going to go 4 wide receivers. They need 18 yards to convert. Probably looking at 2 plays here. Setting up in the nickel is the Erie defense. Ironhead Hayworth stays back as the single tailback beside Elway to give that pass blocking. Here's a sideline pass to Scansey, and that's going to be incomplete as Rochester picked the only flat zone that actually was manned up, and the defender made the play. And on 4th and 18, Rochester has to punt. That's a nice 54-yard punt there by Greg Montgomery. 7-yard return again by Clarence Verdun, and Erie takes over at their own 21, 18-point lead, 7:12 to go. So I would not say that this game is over yet, but there is certainly trouble here. And here's a short pass, Jesse Hester, and that's going to be a long gain. Caught the defense guessing run, and Jesse Hester continues to punish the Rochester defense. Now 5 catches, a $161, as they are across midfield to the Rochester 33-yard line. Erie starting to run away with this game. 6:36 to go. And here's a run to Steven Smith. Nothing doing, as the guard couldn't make the block offensively. Ran that ball to the right, and the run blocking for Erie is actually to the left, where he's got a 5 and 6 run blocker. But it's just 2nd down, 2nd and 10 now. And here's an off tackle, caught him guessing pass, and Ernest Biner with a 10-yard run right up the middle. Biner off tackle hits an 8 on the defensive card, and again, a 10-yard pickup, a 1st down, move the chains at the Rochester 23-yard line. Off tackle to Ernest Biner, and another 5-yard gain. Defense guessing run for Rochester, but it's going to the defensive card. And so 2nd and 5 now into the red zone. 2nd and 5, Erie at the 18-yard line. Short yardage off tackle, and a 4-yard pickup sets up a 3rd and 1. Biner now 14 carries, 96 yards as he approaches the 100-yard mark. 3rd and 1, pro set formation. Just over 4 minutes to go in this one. And it's going to be a key on the quarterback, but it's a button hook and an 8-yard completion. 1st and goal at the 6-yard line. As Biner catches a little dump over the middle, catches the defense guessing run. 1st and goal. And it's a run up the middle to Steven Smith. Nothing doing. Defensive right tackle makes the block, or I should say makes the tackle. And it's 2nd and goal at the 6. Another off tackle to Biner. And he actually loses 2. And it's 3rd and goal at the 8. No one's stopping the clock here, folks. We're playing out the string down to 2:24 to go. And here's an end run to Cunningham. Defense gets run, and it's going to be a 4-yard loss. So good call there. And at the 2-minute warning now, Erie looking to tack on a chippy field goal, and Matt Barr puts it through. So under 2 minutes left in this one. Erie treating the home fans now to a 27-6 lead. So a little garbage time possession here for the Rochester offense. With the game out of hand, if it was me, I've been in that situation. I am looking for a way to find anything that makes the offense move, just to get that feeling of not doing very well offensively out of my, out of my wheelhouse. There's a nice run up the middle. Craig Hayward on an off tackle draw hits an 11 with a box and adds another 10. So a nice 21-yard run there for Craig Hayward. No timeouts being spent here, though. So we're about to wind this one down. 1:22 to go. Erie's going to walk out of here with the win. There's an end run. And Fennerty with a 4-yard run gets out of bounds. Erie will improve to 3-3 on the season, unless I'm mistaken. Whereas Rochester will fall to 4-4. So both teams will come out of this game with an even record and knowing they have work to do to make the postseason. 3 wide receivers set here, and another pitch out to Fennerty. Going around the end for a pickup of 4. He does not get out of bounds this time. We're inside a minute now, 3rd down and 2. Erie operating this garbage time out of the nickel. And here's another draw to Craig Hayward. And once again, he hits that 11 with a box. And he's going to drop another 21-yard run here. 2nd of this drive. Craig Hayward now 9 runs for 86 yards in this game. 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line after Elway spikes the ball with 37 seconds left. So just the final score in play here, but Rochester looking to get a late touchdown on the board here and make it look a little more respectable. Curious about the rush yards in this game because I know Rochester's had some success. And indeed, Rochester, 173 rushing in this game compared to 129 for Erie. But they still got routed. Or at least a little bit routed. Here's a pitch out to Gil Fennerty and just a 1-yard gain as Fennerty once again hits that 5 on his card. Fennerty has been sort of a hard luck loser with the dice in this game. 5 carries, 7 yards. And at least 3 times hitting the 5 on his own card. 3rd down and 9. at the Erie 15-yard line. 4 wide receivers split out. Hayward's the tailback. Short pass to Paul Scansey, and Scansey's got it. A 13-yard pickup down to the 2-yard line. It'll be first and goal. And Coach Tangora of Rochester decides that's worth a timeout. Let's see if we can punch it in. Rochester down to 1 timeout now. Again, this is the final score. Here's all that's in doubt. Erie's going to win this game. There's a key on Mike Rozier, but it's a short pass and incomplete. Second time that it was a pass to Brian Blades on wrong, but the defender comes up and Richard Johnson makes the play. Second and goal at the 2, 15 seconds left. I think you might see an Ironhead Hayward run here maybe out of the full house. Let's see what happens. And it is to Ironhead Hayward, but the key is on Rozier, and Hayward plows into the end zone with a short gain. And so it's clearly way late, but Craig Ironhead Hayward, with 1 second left in this one, gets into the end zone to cut this to a 27-13 game. And on the ensuing kick, clock runs out. This one's over. Your final score here from Erie. Erie treats the hometown crowd to a 27-13 win. It wasn't as close as the score suggests, as they essentially rout Rochester. They led 17-6 at halftime, and from there extended to 27-6 very late in the game. Take a look at the box score here while we wait to see if anybody's going to be joining us. So Erie outgains Rochester in this one, 358 to 243, despite Rochester winning that run game. But Randall Cunningham, he had a much better yards per attempt. So similar pass percentage, similar number of completions. Elway completes 12 passes, Cunningham completes 13. But Cunningham is 8.8 yards per attempt, and Elway just 3.9 per attempt. Looks like the Erie coach will not be joining us on the broadcast. Something about a bad microphone, which is just fine. But it appears that we do have Anthony Tangora joining us. So welcome, Anthony. How are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Tim. Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, disappointing outcome for you, I'm sure. Anthony, talk a little bit about the game and what you were trying and what went wrong, man.
Well, yeah, it was some key plays that like they often do, made the difference. Key sacks, I think, in the first half.
Definitely.
We had very similar pass rush percentages. Might have had a slight edge, and just getting some big sacks as moving down the field. That'll happen. Obviously, the snap fumble, probably the play of the game. That would have changed the game there at the end of the first half.
That was probably the biggest play of the game, Anthony. I agree.
And then you can go to a few others. I mean, the fourth and whatever short pass gets wrong.
Oh yeah.
And that one. So there was a series of those big plays that. If you're just looking at one side, I had some breaks my way too, of course.
Oh, sure.
But
I noticed that you had a couple plays where you were short pass wrong to Brian Blades, and so it's a good opportunity. It ends up going to the defender, and you get a 5 white dice matching up against that 5 cornerback to break up an opportunity. So sometimes it's not just about luck; it's situationally when that luck happens. And I think at least one of those was on a big third down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fourth down, maybe even.
Yeah, so that was the short pass gets wrong, fourth down. And then and you could argue that was the play of the game too, because if I convert that, then it's go down the field. It's a 1-score game if I can get down the field. Instead, I turn it over at the plus territory for Erie, and he takes it in. At that point, nice drive by Brian there to take it in, because the defense, as Brian mentioned, the Erie's offense was stalling at that point, but Brian did a nice job on that short drive to punch it in, to take advantage of that. that missed opportunity on fourth down. At that point, the game was ostensibly over. So
Yeah. It
yeah,
got late early for sure. I noticed
mhm,
that, it's kinda interesting that, of course, they outgained you by a little over 100 yards, but you were so much better offensively on third downs. You were 7 of 14, whereas Erie only converted 2 third downs all along, but, they only had 1 third down opportunity before they built that 14-point early lead. They never even were getting to third down. They were kinda cutting through you pretty quick, it
yeah,
looked like, from what I was seeing early on.
yeah. I thought Brian did a great job calling offense in the first quarter. It was very, very rarely guessed right on defense, um, and um, and that he sort of drove right down the field as a result. I was a little slow on the uptake in terms of getting the double teams out there on his receivers. Um, and once those started going, then I was able to control the defensive side of the ball better for those last three quarters. But but the offense just couldn't get over the hump. I thought it was effective enough. I mean, I thought from a play calling standpoint, sort of did the right things. I thought the guys were pretty much put in the right situations. For the most part. But got denied. Got denied on those opportunities when the defense was doing its job. The offense seemed to find a way to not get in the end zone.
Yeah, also interesting that John Elway and Randall Cunningham, the comparison, 46% completions to 48, about the
Mhm,
same.
mhm.
12 completions to 13, about the
Yeah,
same. But he has 238 yards, Elway only 101.
and the INT.
Um, and the INT to boot.
Yeah, yeah.
So
On the
he
defensive
certainly got the
part,
best of that.
it's like you sort of you go after the good defense to count on getting an INT edge. And it was an average versus good average pass D for Erie, good for Rochester, but the interception wound up on the other side, which is going to happen. It's going to happen. You gotta overcome that, and plenty of chances to do it. I thought it wasn't
Yeah,
the end of the world. The INT to me was not even in the top five of most important plays in the game. But and there was a lot of times on defense. I'm calling run and putting four men in the short pass zone and whatnot, just because of the probability of getting an INT.
sure.
And I think one time the INT split came up, four men short pass, 2 through 6, 2 through 6, 11, 12, and the 10 shows up. That's going to happen too. It's going to happen. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, these games are certainly feels like a lot closer than USFFL. I think it's tougher to get the higher scores, and so the scores seem to be
Hmm.
more scrunched together, and a lot more closer games, and a little bit more difficult to get offense. And I know that in USFL when I'm playing, a lot of times I feel like I still am more in the game, whereas in this game I fall behind, and I'm like, I know there was a game recently where I was behind. It's like my second drive of the third quarter, and I was telling myself, just whatever you need to do, just get the lead. Because all these games I keep seeing, it's not too uncommon for either team to suddenly kind of get on a defensive run and
Yeah.
be able to hold you down. And so you get to the second half, and all I'm thinking is, whatever you need to do, just get a lead.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
because it's just kind of tough. It feels like it's kind of tough to score sometimes in this league. I don't know what you feel, but with all the blitzing and some of the other quarterbacks aren't as good. The kickers aren't as good.
Yeah, yeah. The kickers are certainly impactful. I mean, and I have one of the worst kickers, so that's going to be even
Sure.
more so the
And the
case.
worst luck with kickers of people I've seen, I know. So
Well,
you
my guy's hitting 80%. He misses. The 20% have been just game losing kicks that he missed. The 80 that he's made, I can't complain about that. I mean, 80's 80, right? So
so both of you walk out of this game with an even record. It looks like Erie, unless I'm mistaken, is 3-3, and I believe you're 4-4. Is that right?
yeah, 4-4. Yeah,
So
four
you
and
and I
four.
both still have some work to do. I'm 5-4. You're 4-4, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you. I'm enjoying the hell out of this league. It's been a fun change of pace for me, and I know
Well, I'm
you've
not
been here many
enjoying it at
years.
this very moment, but generally, yes.
I
Generally,
didn't enjoy my most recent game either. I think it was Presque Isle that beat me in a game that I got just like I was just telling you. I got a touchdown late. Think I'm now in a position to win the game, and in the fourth quarter he gets the 10 to 7 to tie and 3 to beat me right at the gun. So
Yeah.
you just never know.
Yeah, I
It
think I
is
was
what it
watching that
is.
one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was close. It was close. It is
Mm.
what it is.
It's yeah, getting the lead is important. I certainly agree with that. The offense, the offense with this squad, I can feel the pain from a lot of squads that don't have any sort of real flat pass option,
Yeah,
and it
I've seen that too.
puts them in a box. I'm with Elway. I'm not as afraid of the flat, so it feels a little bit more like the modern offense in some ways. In some of those teams have that, where
How was
that option's always there.
how was
Uh,
Erie rated defensively? I just
average.
average. Did you consider looking? I mean, just purely statistically, your running backs killed it. Did you consider maybe running them more because it looks
I
like
ran him a
your
bunch.
The Gil Fenerty was absolutely cursed, but your
Yeah,
other two running backs did
yeah,
really good.
yeah. Fenerty was cursed, and yeah, I thought, look, I thought I didn't overpass for being
No,
down
that's true,
a
especially
few
especially
a few
considering that you
scores.
were down much of the game. You're right.
I mean, even in the fourth quarter, I was still running Hayward.
And he got those
I
21-yard runs on the same drive at the end too. So
oh yeah, that was garbage time, but
yeah,
sort of padding the stats there, I guess, for Hayward.
if you take
But
those two runs out, you still ran just as well as him. Just the breaks didn't line up well enough, I guess.
yeah,
So
I mean, look, it's sacks
sacks too, yeah,
with these
and
two
two
squads.
turnovers,
Yeah,
sacks and turnovers.
yeah, yeah. The sacks were really important at important times in the game. The one on the first drive that was around midfield was a really important one, and then the one in the third quarter, long pass, Tommy Kane guessed right.
Right.
Look, I mean, you look at these two long passers, Cunningham and Elway. From an expected yards perspective, Cunningham is a better long passer because of the must run.
Yeah.
But from a completion percentage opportunity, the number of completions expected were very much from a mathematical standpoint, way in Rochester's favor.
Yeah,
With the
and
0
it
for
didn't work
safety
out
and the
that way.
4, and it didn't work out that way. Even with 0 men back there, it's for me because the coverage guys on Rochester, it's a low expected completions
Right.
for the opponent. But I think long pass completions were something like 2 or 3 to 0. So you sort of hope those would be even at best, if not in favor. And sacks,
Yeah.
even with the Miami line, the matchup, MDP against the center, we both had one elevated guy and a secondary guy, just about the same. You sort of expect those to be the same, and they didn't turn out that way. That's going to happen some games. So that's just the way.
That's right.
It's just the way it goes. And there's a number of games. If I'm not going to put this in that category because I think Brian got out to just a well-deserved lead here by calling offense. And if you want to say that's the difference in the game, then I think that
Yeah.
would be a valid thing to say too. He
It's a
called
fair
offense
point.
so well. But that being said, you're going to have a handful of games that you're going to win no matter what you do.
Right.
You could have a monkey, just randomly picking plays, and you're going to win a handful, and a handful you're going to lose, no matter what you do. And there's going to be a handful that are competitive. I think back to your game. You mentioned your game. You fumbled on a kickoff return, I think, in this
Yeah.
last game,
So I mean,
and
there was only like 30
I bring it
seconds,
up. Yeah,
40
it was only
seconds
30
left,
seconds left. It reminded me of
something like
that.
that. It was going to be a
Yeah,
long shot, but yeah.
if it was a minute and a half or 2 minutes left, it would have been different.
But I
Where
only
you
needed a
sort
field
of
goal,
wish.
and I have a great long pass quarterback too. So you
Right.
never know.
Right. But yeah, and the point I'm trying to make is sometimes, the weird dice get in the way of us having fun, and that's never happy. That's never a good thing when that happens. Even I'm sure your opponent, and I forget who you're playing, was
Presque
like,
Isle, I
oh
think.
yeah, I was like, oh shoot, that stinks, because you want to have that good ending. You want to
Yeah.
have the coach, you want to have the chess match come down to decide the game. I think all of us sort of, most of us anyway, root for that. I'm sure some of us
I
are
think it
just
would have
ravenously
bothered
win
me.
hungry.
It would have bothered me a lot more if I fumbled that last possession and I had a minute and a half on the clock as
Yeah.
opposed to a half minute on the clock.
Yeah.
But with just 30 seconds left, It was already a long shot, even though I only needed a field goal. So you get that fumble, and you're like, okay, whatever.
Right.
So,
Right.
and he
So
earned it. I mean, like I said, I've noticed defenses are easier, offenses struggle more. And I had a 7-point lead late, and he got 10 before the fourth quarter ended. And kind of like you said, you just got to give
mhm,
the coach credit for that. I didn't make it easy on him. He got it done anyway.
mhm,
So
mhm.
more power to him. And like you, I'll pick up and figure out what my plan is to get to 9, no matter what. Nine or bust, Anthony. Let's reiterate that,
Right.
9 or bust.
Right, and,
All right.
Brian making the point there that we had, Rochester had 1 completion for the TD, the long pass to Kane on, with no man in the zone. That's a good point. Yep, yep, 1 completion. Very true.
Yep.
Thank you for the correction, Brian.
Yep. Well, congratulations to Brian if he's either listening
Yeah,
still.
congrats, Brian. Really, really well
Yeah.
called.
Yeah, absolutely it was. And you're absolutely right, Anthony. You get out to a 14-point lead, you have all this freedom to kind of control things and especially in this league. So he
Mhm,
earned that and he got it done. So
definitely.
congratulations to him. And he's back even. So he's just like you and I, just right on that fringe trying to
Mhm.
get there. So
Hmm.
Brian, wish you luck the rest of the way. Same to you, Anthony. And I guess you and I'll be playing sometime soon.
Sounds good.
We
Thanks.
haven't got it in
Appreciate it.
yet. Have a good night,
Appreciate you
buddy. Enjoy your
broadcasting.
holiday
Thanks.
weekend, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye.